phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
The first round of the 2022 NFL Draft has officially concluded, and it was a pretty crazy one at that, as you had players going a lot earlier than expected, players that would end up being traded that you weren't expecting to be traded on draft day, and even some players dropping out of the first round, like quarterback Malik Willis. To talk about the quarterback class some more, although for the 2022 class, it's not viewed as that strong, a few quarterbacks were expected to go in round 1, but ultimately only one quarterback was drafted in the first round, and that was Kenny Pickett. In today's video, I will be talking about the subject of quarterbacks, but it's not going to be about the 2022 quarterback class. Instead, we're going to be taking a look at the 2017 quarterback class exactly 5 years ago. At the time, heading into the 2017 NFL Draft, there was 4 quarterbacks with a lot of hype around their name. That 4 could have all been first-round picks, but only 3 of them would end up being first-round picks, and the other would end up being an early second. Those 4 quarterbacks were Mitchell Trubisky, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and DeShone Kizer. In today's video, I'll be looking at those 4 picks and how they've turned out today, 5 years later. Before I move on with the video, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as we are on the road to 10K. Now, let's get into it. The first quarterback that was taken in this draft was Mitchell Trubisky from North Carolina. He was selected with the 2nd overall pick in the draft in the first round by the Chicago Bears. He only started 1 season at North Carolina as a quarterback, where in 13 games played, he completed 68% of his passes, threw for 3,748 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. When talking about Mitchell Trubisky and his NFL career so far 5 years later, it can be best summarized as a roller coaster ride, constantly going up and down, and up and down. He's had his highs and he's had his lows throughout his time as an NFL quarterback. In his career in the NFL, he spent 4 years with the Chicago Bears as their starting quarterback, and in this previous 2021 season, he was a backup quarterback to Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills. In his career in the NFL, he has completed 64% of his passes, thrown for over 10,000 yards, 64 touchdowns, and 38 total interceptions, with a quarterback record of 29-21. He's made 1 Pro Bowl in his career in 2018, and he was the MVP in 2021, which the MVP is the most valuable player in the Nickelodeon game that took place in the wildcard game of the Bears versus the Saints in 2021. In this current NFL offseason, Mitchell Trubisky would end up signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where originally it was thought he was going to be the starting quarterback for them in 2022, but now with Kenny Pickett being selected by the Steelers in the first round, things can change. The next quarterback that was taken off the board in this draft was Patrick Mahomes, who was selected with the 10th overall pick by the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a starting quarterback from Texas Tech, coming off a strong 2016 campaign in which he completed 66% of his passes, threw for over 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions. In his career, he completed 64% of his passes, threw for over 11,000 yards, 93 touchdowns, and only 29 interceptions in his college football career. Unlike Mitchell Trubisky as a rookie, Patrick Mahomes was not a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was the backup quarterback, and he only appeared. But once year 2 came for Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, it was officially the Mahomes era, and he hasn't looked back since, as he's one of the best players in the NFL right now. In his career as a starting quarterback for Kansas City, he has completed 66% of his passes in his career, has thrown for almost 19,000 yards, 151 total touchdowns through the air, and only 37 interceptions. He is a Super Bowl champion, 4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, a Super Bowl MVP, and an MVP for the 2018 season as well, as his best season is by far the 2018 campaign, in which he threw for over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and only 12 interceptions. And it doesn't seem like Patrick Mahomes is slowing down anytime soon. He is one of the best in the league after all. The third quarterback selected in this draft came from Clemson. and that was Deshaun Watson. Watson was selected with the 12th overall selection by the Houston Texans. In his career at Clemson, he threw for over 10,000 yards, completed 67% of his passes, threw for 90 touchdowns in the air, and only 32 interceptions. In his career as well on the ground, he rushed for almost 2,000 yards and had 26 total rushing touchdowns. He would also be a national champion at Clemson and a two-time Heisman finalist. Watson, just like Trubisky, would be an immediate impact player for his team as a rookie in 2017. But a big difference is Deshaun was playing better than Trubisky, obviously, but Trubisky didn't get hurt and Watson did. Watson would end up tearing his ACL as a rookie in 2017, only playing in 7 games. After ending the year early on injury in 2017, he has been a healthy quarterback since then, from 2018 to 2020, from when he's actually been playing with the Texans. And he's had a good NFL career so far, making 3 Pro Bowls, completing 68% of his career passes, throwing for 14,539 yards, 104 total touchdowns through the air, and 36 touchdowns. Watson would not play a single game in the 2021 season, pretty much because he was suspended the entire year because of all the allegations that he had on his name. If you want to look up the case, y'all can, but I'm not going to go too much into it in today's video. He would eventually be traded to the Cleveland Browns heading into the 2022 season in the offseason, and he's now going to be the Browns quarterback, and there's a lot of hype surrounding him and the Browns heading into 2022. The last quarterback I am going to be talking about in today's video is one that could have been a first-round pick and had some smoke to be one, but would end up being an earlier second-round pick, and that was DeShone Kizer that was selected in the second round by the Cleveland Browns. Now, DeShone Kizer played college football at Notre Dame and was a 2-year starter. He was coming off a 2016 campaign in which he completed 59% of his passes, threw for 2,925 yards, 26 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions, and a total of 8 rushing touchdowns on the ground. DeShone Kizer would be an early contributor for the Browns as a rookie in 2017. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't exactly the best season, and it's a season that's in the record books as the Cleveland Browns ended up going 0-16, and DeShone Kizer started in 15 of those games, going 0-15 as a starting quarterback. He did not play very well. He completed roughly 54% of his passes, threw for 2,894 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 22 interceptions. After one season in Cleveland, Kizer would end up getting traded to the Packers in the next offseason, and he would be a backup quarterback for them in 2018. But after that one season, DeShone Kizer would end up getting released by the Packers, being on the Raiders practice squad in 2019 to 2020, and partially with the Tennessee Titans practice squad in 2020 to 2021. He is currently a free agent. Well, guys, if you made it this far in the video, drop something down in the comment section below of future videos you want to see. And before you head out, remember to smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already. Be Kelly out.